Hello there. Most welcome. Karibu sana 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 to Dear Parent Show. It's always a joy coming your way, and man, you people make this thing worthwhile. So every time we are doing this, we are like, it is worth it because of the people that are watching, the people that are always sharing their feedback. Thank you so much. You make this, I mean, every time I think about Dear Parent Show, I am thankful to God that this started. So thank you for being part of this journey and for subscribing to the channel, and for them that are always sharing. Man, salute. Thank you so much. God, our blessed to sana. And today I am blessed of the Lord. I am a happy person. By the way, one of the things mimi husema kama nashami, every day of my life I live in my happiness era, and I'm not apologizing about it, because man, hii maisha Mungu ametupatia tuishi. So we make it, we live it, we enjoy it, we get fulfilled while at it. So thank you for coming our way today, and we are getting ready for a beautiful, beautiful episode. But kama hauja watch episodes hapo nyuma, please go back. Watch bwana, be updated. We don't want people to start talking about something in this episode, about some episode that you didn't watch. You don't want to be missed out. Go watch, pata content so that you are relevant in the conversations. But just because every episode is different, every episode is, I mean, there's always something, even for me, that stands out with each and every episode. So I would advise that you go back, watch them, and then tukwe updated. Sawa sawa. Amazing. So today I am hosting an amazing gentleman, someone that I will tell you at some point how we have known each other for quite some time. But he's an amazing gentleman, and I'm so honored that he chose to just come and honor our invitation to be here today. So we are honored to have him on board, and I don't know him, quote unquote, atatuambia yeye ni nani. So I just want to introduce him and to have him tell us about himself. Hi, bro.
Hi, sis.
How are you?
I'm good.
So good to have you on board.
It's a joy also being here. Yeah, it's always good to be part of having conversations that are there to change our generation. Yes.
Amazing. So tell us, who are you, and anything you just want us to know about yourself.
Kevin is a fourth born in a family of 5. We are 2 brothers, 3 sisters. I'm married to one wife who is a woman.
Is hapo. Sisitiza hapo. Siku hizi inabidingi bana because
yeah, and we are blessed with one son. His name is Othniel Fadhili. And above it all, I'm a mentor, a leadership coach. I am a pastor at City Light Center Church Rongai. And I'm born again, and I love the Lord. Yes.
Something caught me in your introduction.
Yes.
Unaanzaje kuita mtoto Othniel? Hey, yawa. Unaenda kuchukua tu jina ngumu ya Bible.
I think when it comes to naming children, there is power in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, the name Othniel means God's strength, God's lion, God's might, helped of God.
Ish.
So when I was choosing that name, it was led of God, of course, because there is power in naming. And so when I see him, he basically embodies strength, might, and he is such a sharp man. Yes, when I see him daily. Yes, yes.
How old is he again?
5 months, 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done, Baba Fadhili. Baba Othniel.
Baba Othniel.
Tuanza kumuita Othi. We ngoja tu aende shule. Niaje Othi?
Ati Othi.
Short form ya Othniel sa tutadu. But anyway, thank you so much. And
yes.
I just want to know, you told me you come from a family of 5.
Yes.
And you're the 4th.
Yes,
right?
I'm the
Yeah.
4th born.
So I just want you to tell us something about you growing up. Anything that you might be willing just to share briefly. Okay.
Now, when growing up, one of the things that marked my upbringing was I had a very supportive mother
Oh, wow.
and dad. Very, very supportive. And I remember when growing up, you know, those weekends whereby you're taken out, when you have somebody like a mother and you can talk to her anything at any time. And she was so loving, so open, so caring. And I also had parents who were very strict.
Okay.
Very strict.
Loving, caring, but strict.
But strict at the same time. And I think that really nurtured to be whom I am today. Because had it not been for them, I could not be where I am today.
Okay.
That aspect of being loved, cared for, and the aspect of strictness, I think that really shaped my growth, my upbringing. And I can't say I don't regret having such parents, because if I didn't have them, I don't know how it basically would have been. And so it's a joy having been brought up by such parents. And yeah.
Amazing, amazing. It's interesting you said that your parents used to take you out. I had to point that out because I hosted an amazing young lady who was really telling us parents to remember to take you people, our children out often.
Yeah.
Sasa wewe ni ni millennial.
Yes,
na ulikuwa na wapi huyo msichana kuja hapa tumshow ma colors, because she was like sisi hatujui stuff. Yet tulisaidiwa. Wewe millennial. Your parents are before millennial is what, Gen X?
Yeah.
They are Gen X.
Gen X.
And they knew this is.
Yeah.
Alternatively, this thing happened with Gen X. Then sisi tukalala class.
Yeah.
Na for hao amekuja kutuamsha tena.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's really a joy. And I think also what stood out is the fact that they were loving, they were all this caring, yet
Yes.
they were strict.
They were strict.
Because sometimes I think some parents miss the balance.
Very.
Either they're just strict, or maybe they're just so loving to the point they have pampered and
They have
spoiled.
pampered and spoiled you at the same time.
Yeah, so I think that finding the balance was really a good thing that
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
And so with that upbringing, tell me about Kevin the teenager. Tell me about you being a teenager. What you remember. Funny, good, strange, anything.
Wow. Whew. Oh my, those memories.
Yes.
Kevin being a teenager. Now, as I said, our nurturing really dictates or it projects basically whom we will become. But I think things took a turnaround in my teenagehood. And you know, one, being a leader, I was a leader my entire life. So in primary school, I was a class prefect. By the time I'm in class 8, I'm a head boy. By the time I'm in Form 1, I am a class prefect, Form 2 house captain, until when I got to Form 4, I was a school captain.
Hey, bro, sorry. Me, I was nothing. I was just a student.
Yeah. So Kevin being a teenager, I think my upbringing and my parents being loving again, caring and strict, really nurtured the leader in me. So I think when going to school or high school, the aspect of leadership would be seen even by teachers, because I think mimi nilianza kufunzwa. Is it okay if I mix both the languages? Sure. Nilianza kufunzwa to take responsibilities when I was very young, because I think that is where maybe most parents miss it. They don't teach their children responsibility when they're basically young. I think that shaped the leader I was. So being a leader in high school, na unajua kuna ile part ya watu walikuwa wanaona mapirini watiaji.
Yeah, kabisa.
So I think that that aspect of being a leader and those challenges that came up being a leader, I think in some way there is a part I missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think I didn't get to interact with other people so much the way I would have interacted with them. And I think that made me in a way lose a bit of social life. Because you think bonding with leaders, you'd always see yourself in like uko ligi flani.
Nigiso.
So being in that place, there are people I never really interacted with.
Yeah.
But I think I came to correct that when I was almost exiting school. And that really shaped now whom I am today, what I do, and basically where I'm going. Yeah.
Tell me about what you do. So Kevin and I have met in different spaces. Actually, we connected because we have similar passions.
Yeah.
With this generation, the Gen Z.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing, he said he's a mentor and a coach, and he does a lot of stuff with students
Yes.
in schools all over the country
Yes.
as God gives him grace.
Yeah.
And it's such an honor that, you know, somebody said this. There was a time I was in a forum, and this lady was saying, we have people that have had, how would I call it, a dark past. Let me use it that.
Yes.
They've had a dark past, and then God has turned their fortunes and turned their story, and their past is a story to build others.
Yes.
And then she was saying, if you have not had that dark past,
Past.
don't feel like you don't have a story.
Yes.
You know, like, I have nothing to present. I'm not coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
No, you have a story to tell of faithfulness ya Mungu.
Yeah.
Ama uko na story ya kusema about right upbringing.
Very.
Because
very
there's someone who'll say, I was brought up bad and it gave me childhood trauma and it affected my parenting until I learned. But there is you that the journey has just been amazing. So that is already a story.
Yeah.
So we should not look for ile mbaya.
Yeah.
Tuseme
Yeah.
na content
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
imeturn
Yeah.
to the best.
Yeah.
But it's really a blessing to have you here and
Yeah.
just to talk about this journey parenting. You're a father of a 5-month-old, but
Yeah.
father at heart to many, because you have mentored many young people.
yes,
And thank
yes.
you for that.
Thank you so
Anyone
much,
that
sis.
works with this generation by default is my friend, because man, ikazini mob.
Very true.
And just doing this together is just an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So today I want us to read a story here. A letter, sorry. Because this, guys, we said this is our guide for this show. We are going through stories here and just interacting. And I mean, we will pick something. Remember, learn, relearn, and learn. In whichever order you want to place it. You can choose to unlearn first, then learn and relearn. But it's zote tatu. So we want to read a letter with Kevin here. And then we converse.
Yeah.
So there's a letter here I have picked on dealing with loss.
Yeah.
And I just want us to help, because I think sometimes it's an assumption. It's not just even for the young people.
Yeah.
It's an assumption. You know, you'll agree with me that grief is personal.
Yeah.
And that journey is personal.
Yeah. It's
Even
personal
in a
too.
family setup, it is
Yeah,
personal.
very personal.
Everybody walks it differently.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we overlook these young people. We expect them, mukwa na connection sana, ama sijui nini, ama nini bado
Yeah,
nalia hapo,
yeah,
tumesha move on,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So many things change,
Yeah.
but we forget that these guys were part of this. They
Or part
suffered
of
loss,
this,
you
they
know.
suffered loss too.
So let's see what this young person went through. Dear Mom, I think about you each day and I miss you so much. I imagine how life would have been if you'd still be around. You seeing me grow up as a teenager, and I'm sure you would be my #1 friend and encouragement. I have tried to live my life void of you, but I came to accept fate that I can never forget you. You are the best mother I had, even though it was for a short while. Sometimes I ask God questions like why he had to take you when he knew I needed you. But we do not question him on such matters, right? So, Kevin, a young person, because this one is saying she wished Mama was around to see her grow into teenagehood. That means Mom left when she was still very young.
Very young.
How, and I'm sure you have even encountered this,
Yeah.
a young person dealing with such.
Yeah.
How are they supposed to navigate such? Because we desire, every desire of every parent is that you're there, both of you, seeing your children grow, and we always say the greatest coffin to carry is for a child.
Yeah,
So
for a
haufai kuzika mtoto,
Yeah, true.
uishi uone wakigrow.
Wakigrow,
But
true.
now you're not there,
Yeah.
and your child is growing, and this child feels a part of them does not exist.
Yeah.
Let's begin from there.
Thank you so much for touching on that. And this is maybe a part I didn't say. I lost Mom in Form 2. As Form 2 was coming to an end. That was in 2009. As Form 2 was coming to an end, so I was transiting to Form 3. And you see, having been brought up by... My mother used to travel all the way from Nairobi to Western. I schooled in Vihiga Boys High School. So my mother used to travel all the way to Western. And I was so close to my mom. If you know of men, they are very attached to their mothers.
Yes.
And so coming to that, I remember that fateful day when I was back at home, and my mom had really battled with pancreatic cancer. And so she was in hospital, and I remember that fateful evening when I just saw people come. So I was wondering, what is really happening? Unajua vile I would expect your former head teacher being around in primary and people. And I think when they said, let us pray, something struck me. That, oh, this has happened. And so I think it was so hard for me to deal with that at that moment.
Yeah.
Because I didn't believe my mom was dead until the day we buried her. I didn't totally believe. And so I felt really part of me, like a part of me had been ripped off totally. And I was asking myself, now, how is it really going to be? But I thank God for this one woman who was a neighbor. She told me something. If God still lives on the throne, then you live to see a beautiful tomorrow. So that really encouraged my heart, though it wasn't easy. I think 15 years later, thank God I have a wife who really held me in that season. I discovered I had not healed. 15 years later, there's something in me there's a part in me that was still not yet neat. A part of me that was not yet still healed in me. And so I think number one, I would say healing is a process.
Yeah.
It's not instantaneous. Like something has happened. Na unajua kuna vile tunaambianga watu like kama Mungu wako, you know, there's this aspect. I don't know if you've ever been at a place, you are suffering loss, then somebody quotes a scripture to you.
It doesn't make sense.
Hey.
Never. It doesn't.
And then they tell you, you see, all things are working together for good. I think they were saying that, and I'm wondering, okay, what is working
like seriously, where
together
is good
for good in all this? So number one, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's not instantaneous. And so if you're a young person or maybe any other person that is watching us, number one, know that it takes time.
Yeah.
And mourning for all people is different.
It is.
The fact that maybe you lost an auntie and I lost a mother, there was an attachment we had with them.
Yes, yes.
So one, it's a process. And it takes time. It's not easy. Number two, really allow yourself to grieve. There are those moments I would go and I cry. Like I felt like crying and I would pour out myself and just cry. Totally cry. And cry and cry and cry. So don't hold that thing inside. Because the more you're holding it, the more that thing keeps on pressing you totally. And so, number one, as I said, it takes time. Allow yourself to mourn. And whenever you feel that sense of missing that person, it's not wrong.
It's not.
It's totally not wrong.
That I agree.
Yeah, maybe I would touch on the three as we keep on progressing. Yes.
And it's just interesting because this girl continues to say, life is slowly unfolding, but I'm always missing my mother. I miss telling her when things get tough on me. I miss telling you, Mama, about my new friends, about my studies, and about my dreams and aspirations. Do you know I grew to love singing just like you did, although your voice was definitely better than mine. I have joined the school choir, and it is a joy doing this because anytime I sing, I see you, and it gives me much joy and excitement to keep at it. I have plans to record my own music someday, and when I do that, I will dedicate my first song to you because it is called Mama. Wow. Now, a young person, you know, I have witnessed this when someone passes on, especially like, let's say, a parent, and not even just a parent. I met a young girl in some school who had lost her grandmother. And she had such a bond with the grandmother, more than even the mother. And so it affected her so much. And the mother was like, It's my mother who died. I'm the one who's supposed to. Why are you behaving like it was your mother? And you mentioned something. Attachments are different.
Yes.
I might actually be attached to my auntie more than my own mom.
Yeah.
I might be attached to my brother more than my own sister.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
so this girl, you know those times when, and you've mentioned it too, when you are used to mom coming to Vihiga.
Yes.
Boys every time.
Yeah.
And then now this Form 3, unaingia, mom will never come again because she's not there.
Yeah.
So there are things that you are used to that have been altered. And this girl was used to, engaging mom, updating mom. And there's no one to update.
Yeah.
And the people around such a young person, because again, she says she found passion in what her mom also used to do, singing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel we need to help because mimi husema hivi Kevin.
Yes.
It's okay as a parent, unaweza kuwa umeshindwa, like sasa mtoto tamsaidiaje?
Yeah.
Like hamalizi kulia, hamalizi like sasa tamsaidiaje? And your hands might be tied.
Yes.
But how would you talk to a parent whose child, quote unquote, ameshindwa kumove on? Because sometimes really a parent wants to help, but they feel their hands are tied.
Yeah.
Alternatively, let's say this girl, the mother died.
Yes.
So the father lost his wife. He's widowed.
Yes.
So yana deal nayo kivyake, mtoto na deal nayo kivyake, but this dad wants really to support this child.
Yeah.
How would you talk to such a father?
Okay.
Or a mother, whichever
Or a mother.
parent. How do they help them?
Okay. Now, when it comes to helping such a person, I would say this. Number one, parents should also understand that they should be patient also with these kids. I think at times the aspect of pushing them to a certain brain, like you have to move on. They should understand that as much as maybe they lost a husband or a wife, this child also, in a way, lost somebody very important in their life. So number one, as a parent, it is important that you be patient with this child. Be patient with them. And number two, I think also the environment we create for these kids amidst the loss that they went through is very, very much important. Because like personally, my dad refused to remarry. He refused to remarry. I know, I'm not saying to remarry is bad, but my dad simply said, no, I won't do this. Like you guys, ndo mnaenda kwanza napi, so me, I don't think I can go back to that place, and which is fine. So, number one, as I said, be patient with this child. As a parent, be patient. Mourning may take time. Healing is a process. So be patient with them. At times, give them a shoulder to lean on. Give them a shoulder to cry on. If they want to cry, the safest place they have is you as their father. And there's always this aspect, maybe even for men, when you're not supposed to cry.
Yeah, right. Men don't cry.
And I thank God for my wife. Her name, by the way, is Mimo Korir. I remember 15 years later, I had not really, and I remember I would have those moments. And she would hug me, and I would cry. I would pour out myself totally. And you see, it's always important that you have that person. You can always give a shoulder to them. As a parent, give a shoulder to your children. If they want to cry, even if it's a man, let them cry.
Yes.
Hug them, embrace them, and let them just cry.
Wow.
Let them cry. And maybe the last thing, also as maybe let me touch this on fathers, let's not be fast on moving on.
Yeah, right.
I think this one, inafanyanga watoto wengi wana feel like, how is this so fast? As much as yes, it is right to remarry and move on, but at times I feel that moving on very fast, like it's happened and a year you've already moved on. You've not allowed these children to mourn, to go through that season. At least allow them to go through that season. And I think even it is them who will come to you and tell you,
like,
Dad,
mzae,
it is fanya kitu.
Utakapa peke yako, si tunaenda,
Yeah. So maybe
my goodness, wow.
Those a few things.
Interesting that you've brought that aspect of remarrying.
Yes.
Because this girl says, I know my dad moved on. He has since remarried, and I have a sibling already. I know my uncles and aunts moved on, and everyone went back to their lives. But for me, I remain with all the sweet memories of my mother. I have a few photos of you hidden in my suitcase because, to me, you still live on. I've not been able to connect with my stepmother in as much as she tries to reach out to me and create a bond with me. I'm not being stubborn, but I feel she should not force a relationship. When the time is right, just maybe, I will allow her into my space. But for now, my heart, and I mean my whole heart, is with you, Mama Bear, my favorite lady. And that just the place of remarrying.
Yes.
And I hope, may God grant me, I hope one day to host maybe a lady or a gentleman who married a widow or a widower.
Yeah.
I would want to host such a person. And that person had kids. I would want to understand
Maybe
how,
host and
yeah,
understand it,
because
yeah.
when kids, you know, these kids, like this girl, they were used to their mom. She was used to her mom. And then dad ameshamaliza kumon, anaona ako ready to move on. He has married. He's having more children. And this girl is still in that place. So I agree when you're saying, let's not be quick to just to remarry.
Yes.
We're not saying don't, but let's not be quick. At least, quote unquote, assess situation kwa ground.
Situation fast
because if we are not patient with these babies to help them move on, we are just thinking about us, because that is thinking about you when you choose to remarry. It is you wanting companionship again. And now this one has moved on fast. But just that situation where a child has to quickly adjust to a new mother and or to a new father. Like as if nothing happened. Sometimes I feel that's what we take them like. Nyinyi ni watoto mta-adjust haraka. Why do we treat our babies like that? Like we expect them to just adjust. Do we consider them when we are making those decisions really?
I think I would say this also in line with the same. Most of the time I tend, the way a child would be, men are relational. So the way a child would relate to anybody is the same way when you're also old. Number one, you have feelings. There's the part of emotions in it. There's the part of attachment in it. And most of the time you'd realize kids have a stronger attachment. Like my boy right now is growing, but the more I spend time with him, even when I'm leaving, there's that sense of attachment that he feels like dad is not around. And when I come back home, he would hear my voice and even react and smile. So there's that sense of attachment that children have with their parents, either dad or mom. And I at times feel, even as parents, at times we are not fair, to some extent, in the part of we expect these kids to move on very fast, as if, one, they don't have feelings, as if you see that aspect of Nikanima robot. Like we will just twist them and then tell them, guys, the season is here, you have to move on. That really at times is not good, because if they don't heal right now or deal with that or mourning season, or that healing to take place, it will come and catch with them up.
Very true.
So what they don't heal from right now, it will come to catch up with them.
True.
And you see that aspect of forcing a child to directly or quickly adapt to maybe a stepmother. This thing is a process.
It is, man. It is. It is. You don't force.
It cannot be forced. It really cannot be forced. And at the opportune time, this kid will just come and adjust. Because again, if they don't feel, if they don't heal from that point where maybe they lost a mom or a dad, forcing them into this space would be what I call hypocrisy. They would be doing it to please you.
True.
But inside them, there is not that mutual, there is not that connection with this person. So maybe my advice to parents would be this: allow these kids to move slowly. It's not bad that you've remarried.
Usiharakishe syllabus.
Usiharakishe syllabus. Let it just go slowly. Allow them to adjust. Allow them to move on. And if you allow them to heal, what will happen? Maybe even the attachment to this other one would be stronger.
You know, when you're saying that, a question has popped in my mind.
Yes.
In line with that, helping them, being patient with them
Yes.
along this journey, would you advocate or rather advise a family, let's say a father and his kids whose wife has passed, or a mother and her kids whose husband had passed, would you advocate for them to go like for group therapy, family therapy or something like that? Is that something you'll recommend?
Yeah, it's very, very much important. I think I didn't touch on that when we were beginning. But one of the greatest spaces of healing is also seeking for professional help.
Yeah.
Now, you don't go to see a therapist because you have a problem.
I know, right? Say Matena. Say that again.
You
Gosh,
don't go to
because
see a therapist because you have a problem. At times, you just go to discover who you are,
thank you.
how to manage amidst the different temperaments that come,
Exactly,
or the
yes.
different seasons that come. Because I feel many people think therapists, you go to see them because you have a
Things
problem.
are falling apart.
Things are falling apart. No. Because I think seeking for professional help is very important because it helps you not just deal with this thing from a feeling point, but also from a knowledge point of view. So that they are able to advise you, they are able to walk with you through the journey. So the part of seeking professional help is so key. As much as, yes, you will pray, as much as, yes, you will say you're moving on, but the part of just going to seek that professional help is so important because you will not only just deal with this thing from an emotional point, but also from a knowledge point of view. Because when you get that knowledge, it will help you even with the healing process.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true. And I just want, before we read the last bit, I just want you to talk to a parent because I'm picturing a scenario of a father who has moved on and remarried, like this father.
Yes.
And it has affected his relationship with his children. Because we have had children who have just fallen apart with dad because dad moved on.
Yeah.
Or they are falling apart with mom because mom moved on. It's like, umetuforsia hii agenda hatuitaki so tumefall apart. And a parent is worried because, truth be told, these are my children, but now this is my wife or this is my husband. I have moved on. But the relationship has been tampered of father and children or mother and children. How would you address such a parent?
Two things from that point of view. Number one, yes, you've remarried and you have a wife, but you ought to realize this wife, okay, their lifespan may not be as long
as the children. Wow.
As the children.
Right?
You're getting me up, Caesar. Like, lifespan yake haiko long kama watoto. And at times, for the sake of saving 80 years of this child, it's not too late to go back and just help this child understand what really happened.
Yeah.
Because, you see, if you ignore it, what you're happening, you are damaging 80 years to come.
Ouch. Yeah, yeah.
Which is really very, very critical. And so my advice to that parent, number one, it's not too late to go back. Just open up to this child and bring them to your space. Go back to the memories you had with this child, even when their mother passed, was with you, or what you used to do with them. I think one of the things that provokes these kids to come up is showing them love. Love is so key. Amidst that, if it's to take them out for a holiday, if it's maybe to go sit with them down, because kuna kwanga hii notion ya, many parents, the first thing they ask their children when they come home is the report book.
Of course.
What did you get?
Performance. Buleta tuone. Ndio tujue ka tukupashe. Tujue ka tuanze tuition immediately.
Yeah, so that part of, it's not too late to go back. Simply go back, open up yourself, show love to this child, and bring them to your space.
Yeah.
Again, I want to insist on that point. Don't ignore and damage 80 years of this child.
Yeah. Oh my.
In the sense of you want to embrace the wife that has come in. Save this child because out of this child a mother will come.
Yeah.
out of this child a father will come.
Yeah.
So if you ignore it, you've killed a father.
Oops.
You've killed an entire generation that was to come out from this father. If it is a lady, you've killed an entire generation that was to be birthed through
By
this
this
woman.
one.
Visions that were to be incubated, you've killed them. Destinies that were
my
supposed to be
goodness.
impacted, you've killed it. So save these 8 years to come
Ouch.
of this child. It's not too late.
Ooh. Where? Okay, sawa. That got me. Sawa. But, you know, in a family setup,
Yeah.
there's a way mama relates with the kids, there's a way daddy relates with the kids.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, for example, most of the time it's mom who used to come to visit you in Vihiga.
Yes. Yeah.
So now when mom wasn't in, because you were in Vihiga 2 more years
Yes.
after mom had
2 more
rested,
years, yes.
dad used to come sasa.
Nope.
That is where I wanted to go. Leo tunaongea na mabuda. Hii session ni ya mabuda. Ku step in where mama used to be. Because mama is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Men, can we step up and just... I know you cannot be us.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to be us.
Yeah.
But, and you mentioned earlier about the place of just showing love and all that. Because there's a way, something that also helps these children is when not really replacing mama's place, but some of the things that mama used to do, if you can continue in them. Itawasaidia. Because sasa hapo usaidii. Sasa ukuji Vihiga boys dad. Alafu sasa, nimezoea visiting day mom yuko. And then sasa dad ukuji. Men, talk to your fellow men, please. Sorry, man, but in yenu.
So, when mom passed on now, it is my aunt who used to come from Eldoret. And because I also, number one, I also want to understand my dad to some point. Because dad used to ensure my fees is paid at the same time. Of course, liaising with my grandmother, and they used to ensure that our fees is paid and all that, and my brother would at times come and see me and all that. But I would tend to say this also to fathers. I think when mom left and like I wasn't seeing dad frequently that much come to school for my visiting. In some way, there was the closeness I had with my mom is not the same closeness I had with my dad. And number one, as a parent, it is so important that you understand as a father, you are there to affirm the identity of your child. A father is a source of identity to their children. A father is a source of strength to their children. A father is a source of security to their children. So what am I trying to say? As fathers, it is very important that whenever that such a loss has happened, of which that is what we are dealing with right now, be there to affirm your children. Because, you see, if their mothers were there and they used to tell them all the good things, because like mi sikuwa naona buda yangu sana at home. Because my dad angefika late ka tumelala, angetoka mapema. So I didn't used to like get that much time. So be there to affirm your children. They need you in that season. That's the first thing. Number two, you're there to give them security. Step up and let them feel secured.
Amen.
The reason why at times I feel ladies unapata wameenda kusik security out from other men, and you find even the teenage pregnancies that we are talking about, it is because, number one, there was either a father that was not there. So they felt secure with this other father. So there is a sense of security. So there is a sense of you affirming them. There is a sense of security. There is a sense of you giving them strength in that season. And I thank God that later now, my dad, even when I was moving into marriage and all that, my dad was so present for me.
Amazing.
Like amidst all people, I saw my dad step up.
Oh, nice.
He
Amazing.
came through.
Amazing.
He would call me, know what I'm doing, what are the plans. Even financially, my dad stepped in so crazily.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So I saw the other side of my dad in another facet of life.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
I tend to feel alikuja ka recover.
The years that the cankerworms had eaten.
Yes.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure our father has been redirected.
Yes.
And even just, but also, of course, to the mothers, because it's a two-way. A child
Yeah,
can
it's a
lose
two-way,
either parents. And I'm glad that this later, related with you. So
Yeah.
that's just amazing. Thank you also
Yes.
for just sharing a bit of your own journey.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's many people that have been encouraged by that.
Very
so
true.
thank you for finding time just to be here and just to converse. And we are hosting you again. We will see where, why, and when, but we are. But thank you so
It'll be
much
a pleasure to come
for
back
just being
again.
here.
Yeah.
And so, thank you guys. It's been amazing. Okay, is it a same amazing? It's been sobering. I think he's amazing. It's been sobering. But thank you so much for joining us. And maybe there was someone who was just watching and they have been through that, because sometimes we are grown-ups, but these things affected us when we were young and we have never dealt with them. If you need to seek help, please reach out to us. We can always help you or recommend people to just walk the journey with you. And for every parent, if you are a single parent because your spouse passed on, just know that there are people who understand these things. And for that child's sake, tutasaidia na story. So thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. I am glad you were with us. And after you have watched, leave your comment, share this episode with a friend and a friend. And as always, we say we are learning, we are relearning, and unlearning some stuff. So thank you so much from us to you. We are grateful, and till next time, shalom, and the Lord bless you.